Antonio now. Welcome to the Siesta show. Now we're here at Costa Advice Bureau today having a chat with Antonio about women, okay? Women, Spanish women in fact. Now Antonio, I've chosen you because you have a bit of a reputation of being quite charming with women.
Well, I don't know whether that's true or not, but if you say so, you're a woman, so I have to accept it.
So where do men meet? I know in Spain it's obvious. Where do men meet Spanish women?
Well, on my days, Spanish men went to a place very close from here, which is about 60 meters from here. It used to be the promenade. The promenade was the place that everybody met, you know, when we were the age to chase women, you know, to chase the girls, because we did like it, and so we knew exactly where to go. So in the winter time, we were about 60 meters from here, and it was packed because there were no discotheques, there were not bars like we know the bars today, no pubs with music. So we all met at the Paseillo. Paseillo was the little promenade in the winter. Then in the summer we had the other one, which is now part of the Paseo Marítimo, the front Paseo. So I met actually my wife back quite a few years ago in that Paseo. I was only 16, so I was already in the market, you know.
16.
And 16, yes, very young. And my wife was about 13. But, you know, teenagers, we started to go out and meet all together in the Paseillo. So that's the way we had to meet women. Nowadays, everything has changed quite a lot, you know. I can tell you an experience I've got of today's is my own son. My son met the girl in different ways. We were having churros, my son and I, one morning. We were working together in those days, and we went to eat the popular churros, and a lady was there with her daughter, pretty daughter, and my son said, and I said to the lady, hello. So my son said, do you know that woman? I said, yes, of course I do. It's an acquaintance of your mother. I said, wow, she's got a very nice girl. I said, yes, you'd like to meet her? Well, no? And all started there. So it wasn't a churreria or discos, but people who are sensible, they don't like meeting with an idea of a future with that woman or man, meeting in the disco when you had already 2 or 3 drinks. They're not, you know, that's not the way, probably for one night to have a good time. But the relationship, the serious relationship, meeting in the discotheque, so I've been told by young people, they don't like it.
So what about older people, middle-aged people, people in their 40s, 50s, 60s? How do they meet?
Well, they meet in different places. You know, they can meet at the notary, the office. They can meet in a cafe bar. They can meet at night in a disco or a pub. You know, at the port there are many pubs with music. People who have already been married and they are divorced. I think those are the places where they go for having the possibility of meeting somebody.
So if you see a Spanish lady that you like, what do you do?
Well,
what's the best approach?
Very easy now. I mean, easier than on my time. You know, on those days in my time, back in the 60s, to take a girl's hand, probably we took about 2 months. To give her the first kiss, 6 months it took me. Now everything is quicker. Life is quicker today.
2 hours and 6 hours.
2 hours, or you know, there is a joke in Spanish that we say somebody went to a disco and asked somebody to dance and said, would you like to dance? And the lady said no. Then he said, well, useless to talk about bed. So, you know, that's the way it is now. A little bit exaggerated, but you know, things have changed a lot towards the people meeting and having a relationship.
So if, for example, there was a British, Irish man, foreign man, non-Spanish, how would you advise him to approach a Spanish woman?
Well, first of all, the language helps. If they don't speak Spanish, some women, many Spanish people do speak a little bit of English. Actually, my wife met a German guy quite a long time ago.
Before you?
My wife, not my wife, my daughter.
Oh, right, okay.
My daughter, no, my daughter. Quite a few years ago, met a German guy so he was a foreigner. But my daughter speaks English, so it was easy. They got married, you know. If you don't speak the language, and if the man likes the lady and the girl likes the man, I think in those cases there are not language barrier. You know, the language of love is international, and little by little I think they get to understand each other, and a word in English, a word in Spanish, and probably they end up speaking one language or the other, you know. But I think if you really like the person, the language barrier doesn't exist.
So, okay, first date. Where should men look to take? Where do Spanish ladies like to be taken for a first date?
First date. Nowadays, I don't know. To be quite honest, I don't know. It's a long time I don't ask a lady to go out. Well, quite a long time. But I think if you are a gentleman, which there are quite a lot at the moment as well, although people think that the youth is not really serious, but I believe in youth, and I think there are quite a few, quite a lot of gentlemen around these days. We would ask her to have a little drink, and then if it's summertime, to the beach, to a chiringuito, to have a lunch, or to go out for dinner. You know, this is the kind of thing that ladies like. You know, I think women are, whether the time is gone and the time now is different from 40 years ago, still ladies like to be women, you know, to be treated with respect, and some of them say that they don't like to be treated in a special way when they go on the bus and a man gets up and leaves the seat to. I think very deeply in women's mind, this is exactly what they still like. You know, they don't say, because things have changed so drastically in the last 20 years in Spain, because I remember English girls in the 60s and the 70s, and the freedom they had in those days. We have gone up that sort of freedom that we saw coming out from the north of Europe down here. The Spanish lady, I think, are the one that have come more far than any other woman in Europe. More freedom, more in all aspects, you know. So in 20 years or probably less, women have gone, I don't know how many steps up, you know, but you know, they still like a real woman, I think. They still like to be treated as a woman.